Wow. Wow, that was uncomfortable. Um, so yeah, I just grass is indeed greener on the other side. If I can speak on a personal note, I just got out of the theater a bit of it ago after collecting some thoughts and making a few phone calls and stuff. I just got out of Obsession. Late review, I know, but there's constant buzz about it, and been meaning to catch this movie, and finally did. And it was well worth it. And based on the buzz and how much money this movie's making, it's definitely worth it. And so I don't think this review is too terribly late. So if anybody, short, long story short, anybody who's kind of on the fence about watching this movie, fucking watch it. I'm not. Horror is not my wheelhouse, as I probably mentioned in my previous review for The Backrooms. However, in this case, I can enjoy an exceptionally well done one that's like just well crafted. And oh boy, especially on a tiny budget like this, which is like what less than $1 million. This is like max efficiency in terms of how well this movie was done. So basically, Obsession is a movie about like the monkey's paw thing, or sort of like a Fatal Attraction sort of thing, where this dude, he's well-meaning, but he's really awkward, he's nervous, he's got a crush, and then like there's this knick-knack where it's like a make-a-wish type thing. He makes a wish, it's actually real, backfires majorly. It starts off pretty good, and then eventually, as the movie goes on, it just gets crazier and crazier. And geez, like, okay, the movie did a really good job of setting things up with these characters in such a relatable way, to where parts of it kind of felt close to home, because I've had sort of like tangential, like sort of experiences or relationships like this in terms of with friends and crushes on all that on either side. So in that regard, the movie did a really good job of. It was pretty effective in terms of establishing relatability with the characters, and investment in what's going on. So I really felt for the guy. But then, much like in horror movies, which is almost like a comedy of errors, so to speak, like I cringe and I'm like, oh no, don't do that. It's not gonna work out. Like, you know what I mean? Like you would on any horror movie, and the movie goes the way you think it does. So for anybody who's kind of somewhat lukewarm on horror movies, I think this one's a good one, because it has more to say than just your typical gore slop, or just campy. There's no campiness or anything like that. It was like parts of it. A lot of the movies was a lot of the movie was very uncomfortable to sit through, and uncomfortable in such a way to where it really built up the tension and suspense and all that. The hats off to the acting in this movie, especially with the two leads. They did a really good job. I'm pretty sure that they're going to get the pretty big offers for movies lately, or this is going to open up a lot of doors for them. So hats off to them. Everybody did a good job in the movie, and the directing and the lighting was exceptionally well done. Especially in certain moments when Nikki, the main girl, when she's getting kind of crazy, she's just backlit in such a way to where you can't see her face, and you only see reflections of her eyes, like like a cat at the night. That was really well done, and I think that was all on camera. I don't think anything was like artificially enhanced with CG. It just, I can't speak highly of this movie enough. If I had to make a comparison to it, this was like a hidden surprise, of a pleasant surprise on the horror aspect of things, like what the Pale Mary or Sheep Detectives was, in terms of like positivity and old classic conventional storytelling. As good as those movies were this year for that, Obsession is for horror. Admittedly, I haven't seen any other much horror movies besides like Backrooms and stuff, so I've been kind of light. So for all I know, there's probably other equally as good movies, but this one, for somebody again like myself who doesn't sit in for horror movies much, this one was one well worth my time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. May catch it on a rewatch. Might be one that I might sit down and watch or show other people, and be a little bit more comfortable while sitting in a theater or sitting in a room or for like a movie night or something like that. But this was good. Parts of the movie is pretty tragic, of course. You really do relate and feel bad for the characters and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, everybody out there, you know, be careful what you wish for. You know, grass is greener on the other side. All that, you know, it's like, don't. If there's a lesson to be learned about this movie, is just don't let things happen. Don't force it. You'll end up you'll end up causing more problems if you just purposely force things. Just learn to let go. Take what life comes as you may, you know, especially if you're like the main character trying to wrangle up a crush. Don't force it. You don't want to fake love. And, you know, it might suck. Breakups might suck. Rejection might suck. But, dude, just gotta toughen up and move on. I mean, I'm not sure how salient this is compared to considering how bad the dating market is these days. But, you know, so the outlook might be worse off than what I'm used to. But, you know, if I want to be a little bit more advice giving, and that's a big piece of advice. This movie definitely is a cautionary tale, and just find your backbone, find your courage. You know, if you get rejection, fuck it, move on. You know, there's more to life than just, you know, once you begin to learn to live for yourself and find your own meaning without having it attached to other people, then, you know, love and romance and all that stuff, that's a bonus. You know, man and woman. You know. Just live for yourself. Not to be selfish or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, if anything is to be taken away from this movie, it's that, you know, because you do too much and it ends up backfiring. But I can't speak about this movie highly enough. I mean, the music, the set, the lighting, the cinematography, the acting, the pacing. The movie is only like 100 minutes, if that, and it's only as long as it has to be. And that's what I noticed between this, Pressure, Backrooms, Sheep Detectives. A lot of these movies, the runtime feels adequate. The pacing is pretty good on all these movies. So in that regard, I think modern movies are starting to kind of backtrack on that, because the past several years, so there's some movies where the runtime is just way longer than it needs to be. So that's another big bonus for this movie. So yeah, check it out, man. It's good. It's a good one. Now, if you're really squeamish about horror movies and really can't handle all that anxiety stuff, then yeah, Backrooms are probably going to be more your speed. But if you can handle a little bit more, then this one's worth it. There's a lot to be appreciative about, and it's like I mean, I can't speak it highly enough. Definitely worth the movie ticket. Or, you know, if you're really tight on money, you can catch it at home. But this is arguably good, depending how healthy your relationship is. This would be, or how bad, who knows. If you're in a healthy relationship, this is a good date movie. If you guys want to go cuddle up together and watch a, you know, spooky movie, or go see it with friends, you know, it's a good time in the theater. Or, you know, if you want, if you're awkward about doing a breakup and stuff, this is probably a good movie too, to kind of lay the hints, to put out a hit there. I don't know, but it's just I'm happy I finally saw this movie. So yeah, that's my review for Obsession. I might do another video about the current state of movies and stuff, and especially with commentary about the headwinds that's going on. I kind of touched on that on the Backrooms, so I might do a separate video on that. That's not necessarily a review, but just a ramble on my predictions and my opinions on the current state of the industry. But yeah, if anything, this movie is very inspiring. I kind of want to get into screenwriting again, because I think with an exceptionally well-written movie on a small budget with not requiring much in way of like production value or anything like that, you can do a lot with little, and this is proof of that. So yeah, well, anyways, that's it. It's starting to rain, gotta run home, it's getting late, got work in the morning. So yeah, you guys take it easy. See you on the next one.